easy go.
What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to more Call to Arms news. Now in yesterday's video, I think it was that it was definitely yesterday, yes, we were looking at the German news or the upcoming Germans faction that's coming out soon. So if you haven't checked out that video, what I'll do is I'll leave that video in the video description down below so you guys can check out that video because it turned out pretty well, so I'm pretty happy for that and it was quite exciting news for this. But now Call to Arms have released more news on another faction, which is a Russian faction. So if you do want to see more of Call to Arms news or any other news coming up, then please let me know because I would like to see all your suggestions and all that down below. And also just to let you quickly know that recently I watched a video. This is completely off Call to Arms and I'm just sorry about this, but I just want to just get out of the way at the start of the video that at the start I watched a video recently and basically explained to me, and I'm going to tell you the truth here, it basically explained to me how to get to 1,000 subscribers in a certain amount of time, just in a couple, let's say from 0 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers in a certain amount of month. So I've been told that if you say out, and this is to help other YouTubers as well that are listening here, that if you are a YouTuber then listen here, that I got this from, by the way, I'm not going to take the credit here because it was a video I got off called VidLQ, and if you don't know what they are, they're basically the YouTube tool that help you get more views in less time, I think it is. So I watched a video and I basically watched it and it said that to get 1,000 subscribers that you need to tell the audience the truth of why you want to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm going to say this on my behalf and saying I'd really like you guys to go subscribe right now, pause this video, go subscribe to my channel, and if you don't want to subscribe then just have a look or maybe watch some of my videos and then maybe comment on one of them, just say really well done or any other comment you want to put, and then subscribe because I would really like to get to 1,000 subscribers, and when I hopefully get to 1,000 subscribers and start getting paid content, then I can get better equipment, I can get a lot of better stuff, you know, and more streaming as well. So I just like to say, you know, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'd really appreciate it, and I would really like to get to 1,000 subscribers. So that's me being honest, so it's just a little help for you other YouTubers out there. But alright, with that out of the way, let's get into today's video, which is talking about the Russian faction in a Call to Arms. Now I actually, this time before I started recording, I did actually read like all of this just very quickly so I can get a brief explanation of what's going on. So here it basically says that we're getting much closer to the release of the 2 new factions, which is the Germans as well. We're closing into the public beta in full swing and expect the faction to be available for limited testing in the next few months, with public beta to follow after. To be part of a public beta, it's basically as the same as last time. To be part of it you need the Ultimate Edition, and if you don't have that then they'll come out after in the basic edition for free. So like I said in yesterday's video, make sure you get the Ultimate Edition because you can play it before other people have the basic edition. I think, like I said, it's maybe £15 in sterling, that's if you live in the UK. If you live anywhere else in America, I'm not quite sure, you might have to look up in your country for what currency it is. But moving on from the first sentence here, so it is getting really close to the beta testing of the Russian and the German, so look out for that. And if you do have Call to Arms installed, make sure you watch out for that in the Call to Arms news. So let's move on. So as you can see, it says today we'll be talking about the Russian army. It was extremely important for us to make the Russians unique, even though a lot of Russian equipment is already present in the game. So as you know, as I played the GRM campaign, there was already a lot of, you know, Russian tanks such as maybe the T-80, the T-90, the T-80U, all those stuff. So there are already Russian vehicles and a lot of maybe Russian equipment and weapons in the game already. So therefore we invest in a lot of time researching Russian military equipment and picked out a lot of interesting vehicles and small arms that will expand the options for you in game drastically. So well, basically what they're saying is that they're gonna spice it up a little bit and make it a little bit different than the ones we already got in the game, and make the vehicles and the small arms different to the ones that are already in the game. So moving on, so this part here is, like I said, I did read it before I recorded, and this part, the one I've just highlighted, is basically just talking about the different infantries and what they are. So I'll quickly, briefly just read it out. So it'll be high tier Russian infantry consists of VDV, which I actually don't know what it stands for, but any of you Russians or know quite a lot of Russian stuff, then please let me know in the comments below. Russian paratroopers, you've got what else? You got Specnaz, is that how you pronounce it? You've got, what else? You got special forces, you've got, and they say that it's unlike the Middle Eastern counterparts. Russian troops use modernized AK-74M and even more specialized version in limited quantities, such as the AK-12, the AK-15, the AK-103, the AK-104 and the AK-105, and improved machine guns such as the PKP Peaching or the RPK-16. Lots of RP and KP and all that stuff. Anyway, Russian Specnaz, is that how you pronounce it? I'm probably butchering it, but whatever. Specnaz, if it sounds like it's like right there. It's like Russian Specnaz come with the light sniper VSS Vintores, is that how you pronounce it? I'm sorry, as you can see right here, which makes their available strategies different from their Western counterparts and open up a new gameplay option. So it's quite good that they say that, so it's different. So if you're getting, let's say you're playing as the Russians and you get a sniper team, they'll be different from the other faction in the game, such as the GRM, the American, and even the Germans that are coming out. So if you're getting a sniper team, then watch out, because it does have different, it's different to the other factions. So as you can see in this picture here, that you've got all the infantry. It's showing like the different guns, I presume. I actually don't know which one is which, so you guys will have to sort them out. But you'll have to tell me what the guns are here, because I have no idea what they are, even though it says right here. But anyway, moving on. So in this part here, what they're talking about is that they've made the unique support units include grenadiers with 40mm grenade launchers, which I don't think you could get previously with I don't think you can actually get with factions just now, though I'm not sure. You probably can with the Americans, but I'm not sure at this moment. I would probably have to go in and try the Americans, but anyway, very similar to the American version, as I was right. This is a nice addition as a Resistance Alliance that had no such option before. The anti-material rifle team is an extremely nice choice to take out lightly armored vehicles from safe distances with the ASKVM, the ASVK-M, Cord-M. I don't know why I put the dash, but whatever. On top of that all, you'll need to find this. You'll find the stealth sniper team equipped with VKS silent sniper capable of doing serious damage while staying unnoticed. Yeah, I thought I was carrying on there. So that's actually quite good. So while you're in kind of like a sniper mode, you'll be unnoticed unlike other faction, I presume. Although I presume all snipers are quite sneaky and you can't see them. Anyway, moving on, the Russian sniping abilities are extraordinary, I can't say the word, combined with their ability to dominate light support vehicles with cheaper yet reliable option is a great start for any battle. So yeah, if any of you any of you taking out the snipers, I would shoot, put them on a building, and if there's a vehicle coming out, take them out from a safe distance, so you have the advantage and you can move, let's say, your infantry up to attack the rest of the area. So yeah, you can see the sniper here, and this area here, this bit here that I'm highlighting, is they're talking about light vehicles and trucks, which actually I don't think they briefly mentioned in the Germans, although not as much. So it says, I'll quickly read this to you. It says, we made sure that trucks, light vehicles, armored cars all differ from existing factions and reflect the modernized Russian military of today and tomorrow. Needless to say, they come with a wide range of improvements, so that's good. So like I said before, that they are, you know, Russian vehicles that are already in the game, and they're making it different when the new Russian faction come out. So they're making it different for like the GRM that use Russian vehicles, so, or use lightly armored Russian vehicles. So it's good that they're not giving the same as a GRM kind of has. So it's good that they're changing it up here, and you can even see, like, even though they've got like a BMP, but you can see, like, look at like kind of like the armor that the Germans are wearing, sorry, the Soviets are wearing. If I've been calling the Germans all this time, I meant Soviets. Soviets, you can see what they're wearing is just pure armor, is just amazing. Anyway, moving on, the Russians have did I just read that part? Yeah, I did. Sorry, I'm losing track here. The Russians have very potent and widely available anti-tank option, which are capable of dealing with most, if not all, the Western tanks effectively. However, most Russian vehicles lack strong armor themselves, so they should be used with the necessary amount of care. I don't know why it's such a hard word to say or sentence to say. Anyway, what I want to kind of cover in that is that when I read this before I started recording, I thought, well, a lot of Russian vehicles, they do have armor, but I wonder if they're just talking about like they're talking about just, you know, maybe like the lightly armored vehicles. I think they're talking about that because it just says most Russian vehicles. Now I don't know if that's talking about tanks or anything, but I would say Russian tanks are very, very powerful in my opinion, and do have very strong armor, and they're sloped as well, so it makes it effective as well. So I would kind of disagree in that point, but anyway, of course, at the end of this, I'll give my whole review of it, and then we'll go from there. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking, although you probably can't. If you can, then I am very sorry, but she's a dog, so deal with it. Moving on. However, did I just read that? No. So I think they're mostly talking about, in this part here that I just read out, I think they're talking about this kind of vehicle, lightly armored vehicles like these. So you do, if you are bringing these out in battle, then make sure you kind of keep them to the supporting role, maybe like the middle line or the back middle, or like the rear, so they kind of maybe do sniping. But I would put these kind of at medium range area so they can give the tank support. Moving on. However, as the Russian equipment has not been modernized over the last couple of years, even partially, Soviet-era equipment has been improved with modern technology, and the BTR-90, which I don't think it's not even in the game, the BTR-90. I know there's a BTR-80, and the BTR-90 as well as the BRDM are solid backbones of your armored unit. So I think here, the one that I'm highlighting where my mouse is, I think that's the BTR-90, and this is a the BRDM here. So the BTR-90 looks very cool. I would say it does look slightly different from the BTR-80, but you can still see it's got that kind of same style area. But you can see the BTR-90 is not even in the game, I don't think. So definitely a unique tank or unique armored vehicle there. So this is the latest tank available for the Russian faction is a T90M. Now, as you know, in the GRM campaign that I played, I think the best Russian tank there is a T80U, I think it is. Is that right? I think it is. So they're bringing out the T90M. Unfortunately, there is no vehicle, there's no picture, sorry, to show it. So that is quite unfortunate. It is the top of the line tank that the Residence Alliance can offer and delivers a strong message to Western units. So even though they said that up here that most Russian vehicles lack strong armor themselves, they're not being precise whether it's Russian. They're just saying Russian vehicles. They're not saying, it's not specific enough saying it's Russian tanks. So I would kind of disagree on this point here, but anyway, and then they said here the latest tank that is available is for the Russian faction, T90M. It is a top of the line tank that the Residence Alliance can offer and delivers a strong message to Western units. So I think there's maybe they can in this, where was it? I just lost it again. Where was it? Was it here? Yes, I think it was, or wherever it was. Anyway, I think they could have been more specific on the fact that they said that most Russian vehicles lack weak armor. So maybe they could specify. You know that word that I'm trying to say. So yeah, I don't know why they've said that, and I don't know why I keep saying so much. So moving on. So we're moving on to the last part, which is now the helicopter. So with the KA-52, which I presume is this chopper here, or helicopter, the Russians have a very powerful helicopter option and once again deliver nothing short of a bold statement to their foes. Now personally, I think that, I mean, look at this thing. This has got like 2 blades, I think, or whatever you call them, and you can see it's just loaded with tons of missiles and it's amazing. But I don't know, they weren't specific enough again saying that they're bringing multiple vehicles, or sorry, multiple helicopters. They're just saying one. So I have a feeling when the game comes out, or the new faction comes out, that's only going to be the only helicopter that's coming out to the Russian faction. So like I said, maybe they could have expanded on that, because even though they've already written loads of news and they probably didn't want to add any more, I think they can maybe slightly specify. I can't say that word. They could have slightly expanded on saying that there might be more helicopters coming to the game, but in the meantime here is one. But they've just said that there's only one helicopter, and the KA-52, and they've only said that it's only, you know, it's very powerful and it delivers nothing of a short, bold statement to the foes, which I'm sure it does, but the fact is that they didn't say there's any other helicopters is slightly disappointing, on the fact that I could be wrong and they could add it in to later news on the day. So this is just my guess for just now, but in the meantime, that's all I know for the helicopters. Anyway, this is the last part here. This is it for now. Stay ready for the upcoming beta. We're excited to see the new faction roll out soon. So that is the Russian faction there. What do you guys think? I think the Russian faction is I think it's very different to the German faction, the one I did yesterday, because of how they said that with the because they said that with the Germans, that with the German engineers, that they added like a new range of options. Like you could put down like was it tank traps and certain mines in this, and then you've got with snipers, you've got like the snipers are very special in their own way. So it's very good, and how they're actually changing, sorry, not changing, and how do I put the word? I'm trying to think here of this word that I'm trying to say, and how it's very, that's it, and how it's very different towards the tanks and modern vehicles that are that are Russian, but they're making it different in the Russian faction. So in the GRM faction, you get Russian vehicles, which is the T-80U, the T-80, the T-60, or T-70, or the T-62. With the, did I say German faction? I meant Russian faction. That's a GRM faction, and the Russian faction here is that they're adding kind of new vehicles to it, and I'm kind of glad they're doing it, because I was going to be worried that if they added the Russian faction, that it would have just been the same vehicles as a GRM faction has right now. So I'm glad they've actually added in new vehicles and changed it all. Well, not changed it all, they've just added new vehicles, so I'm very happy about that. So now we have come to the end part. Oh my god, my dog is squealing. So what do I think overall of the Russian faction? Do I think it's the best? Do I think it's the best faction in the whole world? Do I think it's better than any other faction in the game? Well, no. I think that each faction in this game has its own unique taste, let's say. And let's say the Americans are good for maybe have a unique thing for their own faction, and the Germans have their own unique for their unique taste for engineers, and the Russians have unique for, you know, vehicles and snipers, and the GRM have, you know, the GRM that aren't that good. But hopefully what you're getting at here, or what I'm getting at here, is that I think that they've made this very balanced with the Germans, with the German faction and the American faction. So I'm very skeptical of see what happens. Now, what I'm quite worried about is about the GRM faction. Now, I feel like with these two factions coming out, they're not going to be played as much anymore. So, you know how there's only two factions in the game right now. There's Americans and the GRM. But once the Russians and the Russian faction and the German faction come out, the GRM faction isn't going to be played as much, because they're going to be lacking in infantry, they're going to be lacking in, you know, skilled infantry, you know, tanks, you know, and it's not going to be as played as much as the Americans, as the Russian and the Germans are coming out. So I want to see what Call to Arms or the developers do with the GRM, because I feel like the GRM are just going to be left in the dust and it's not going to be played anymore. So if the developers are watching this, then please take into note, what are you doing with the GRM faction, and are you going to add the GRM and make it stronger so they're balanced with the Americans and the Russians and the Germans, or are you just going to leave it the way it is? And I don't think many people will be playing it when the Russian and the German factions come out. So overall, I think that the Russian faction is very good. It's unique in its own way, like the Germans, like I said. And I think overall, I just can't wait to see when it comes out in the public beta test. So yes, that is the Russian faction, guys. If you did enjoy this and want more of any other news that are coming out, maybe in Men of War or Call to Arms again, or any other game that you want me to review on, their updates are very important, then please let me know, because I do like now making these news updates for Call to Arms and any other World War II games that I play that come out. Excuse me. So I like to thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you did like this, then please make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and comment down below what you think of the Russian factions and how do you think they compare to the German faction. So tell me down below. It'll be interesting to hear your comments. So yes, as well as the German one. But anyway, yes, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And like I said at the start of the video, I would really like to hit that 1,000 subscribe button, or 1,000 subscriber mark, as you know, as I can make better content, and I can buy better equipment, and stream more often, because I'm not even streaming at this point, and I want to stream, but I think I just don't really have enough powerful of a computer to do it. So But yes, I like thank you so much for watching and all your support, and like I said, make sure you hit that like button, comment down below. All my social media links will be down below as well as the German review that I did yesterday. Anyway, I like to thank you so much for watching and all your support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.